Okay, so vetiver is just one plant. It comes in a plug, and the plug more or less doesn't get beyond a certain size. The plant above the ground, that is. But below the ground, it grows substantially. Like its roots just take complete control of the area very quickly, I might add. And they form a wall. Like, I mean a wall. An impenetrable barrier where, oh, look at who's coming. Little doggy here. Let me turn this around. He just jumped up on the sidewalk. Where are you going? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somebody's on a mission, isn't it? See you later. He's got doggy business to take care of. Anyhow. Okay, so we're talking about, all right, vetiver. So in addition to providing this this barrier that will withstand even flooding, right? It will keep a retaining wall between where you want the water to be running and where you don't want the water to be running. Hey, look, I'm going to sit right over here. Look at this. Look at this. Because it's kind of hard for me. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a picture, a part of this. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Turn this around. All right, look at this. Okay, here we come to the river, and they got, look at this. Isn't this amazing? I love this. They got this bench where you could just sit here and listen to the sound of the river flowing over the mountain rocks. And you can see down there, it's just super bonito. I like to go down there, say a prayer before I leave. I wonder if you can get down there. I bet you can. You just have to be willing to slide a little bit. But all right, so anyhow, I'm gonna just take a little bit more of this background here, and then I'm gonna finish this video. Let's see, about vetiver. And just, this is just one example. I mean, nature has all, when I say nature has all the solutions, I mean all the solutions. So here comes some more tours, but I think they're gonna walk by. So okay, so let me finish what I was saying about vetiver. So it comes in a plug, and I remember in Mexico we could buy it. It was like 1 peso per plug, and they would sell them in 1,000 plug boxes. And 1,000 plugs will pretty much make you a really good size long wall if you want to build just one wall or one sort of curvy piece of your infrastructure or your landscaping or whatever, your drainage ditches, your riverbanks. And vetiver, in my humble opinion, is best for that because of this impenetrable wall. I mean, it's just like, what is its purpose? What is its objective? That's the first question I want to identify. And if I say, how well does it meet its objective? And I say, well, as far as I can see, it's the most superior plant when it comes to this objective of creating barriers of waterways. And because of this super extensive root system, it filters out a lot of when the water that does seep through it and saturates the soil around it, it does create a nice good cleaning environment because you have a lot of root systems and stuff in there. A lot of microbial activity in that part of the soil. But also something else about the roots is that's what they use to make the essence of many famous, what do you call, I think they call French perfumes or something like that. Someone said Chanel No. 5 is, I remember what they said. Now, I don't know if that, I think that's a French perfume. I'm not sure. But that's just one example of a perfume that gets its essence from the root of the vetiver. So that could be, another piece of the como se llama, the small cottage industries that you would create within the community. The perfume business, if you like that, if you just want to protect your property, or if you want to prevent a river bank from falling in on you when the rains come. Look at that. That would be my go-to plant. And it's just the best. I love it. And then you can, like I said, you can use the roots for there's people that harvest the roots just for the perfume cosmetic industry or whatever. Oh yes, and I can't forget, the third reason that I prefer, I really do like, vetiver is because, it's because the biomass, the quantity and the quality of the biomass. Because if you've ever experienced what like lemongrass is, if you know what the consistency of the leaves of that plant are, it'll cut you, man. It's just like so sharp and stiff and fibrous. It's very fibrous. Maybe it won't cut you like the lemongrass. I don't know. I cut a lot of it, and it would just go and go and go. And so I would always get this biomass, which then you can use in lieu of cáñamo. So bottom line is there's no shortage of solutions. It just takes a little bit of know-how how to work with the nature, how to identify plants and see who does what, and this kind of thing. Now, of course, I love cáñamo. I'm gonna say that's my hands down right now. I love it, and that's low-hanging fruit too. And what they call low-hanging fruit in the business world is to make us some hempcrete, some concreto de cáñamo. Yeah, I'll say it again just for the record, and then I'm gonna just cut this short and go on, walk down here and enjoy this beautiful day in the mountains with this rain coming, and it's just magical here. I love it. But cáñamo I like to use as a retool contemporary toxic industries. I like cáñamo the best because it's carbon negative for those people who believe carbon is our enemy. But it doesn't matter either side of the argument. I don't care, because I'm just gonna say, hey, aren't you guys always on about carbon negative and carbon polluting and carbon footprint and carbon this and carbon, and don't get me started about climate change and this and that and the other. Okay, well, I have a carbon negative business. And so not only do I not acknowledge the opposition, but I would also like to say, since I am following in line with the UN agenda and the 2030 goals, or whatever the goals are, I don't know, to zero carbon footprint or something like that, I don't know. Well, where's my grant money? I'm for real. I want free money. I want donated laboratory spaces. I want scientists and biologists and everybody who works with mycelium and plants and flowers and trees, and all of us people who love the nature and have PhDs and whatever whatever plant, microbe, animal that we choose to get a PhD in, I suppose. But all the people who really, really, really intensely study a specific species of nature. Uh-huh. And that would be great. Get a group of folks like that, enough to pay their salaries, do some research and development and experimentation, bring some things to a functioning prototype, and then from there go to proof of concept tests. And um, uh, if you all need to reinvent the wheel, to prove it on an international level of how do you say, like, I'm trying to think of the word here. When you have building material and it has to be a certain, up to a certain code, right? And then there's international standards for this that Canyamo has met and exceeded. It's a far superior product. And it doesn't grow mold, so it's going to eliminate 99.9% of the public health issues. Mold is a big deal, and that's what we get when we live in concrete boxes. Especially in areas like this. Anyhow, it's just a far superior product, hempcrete, by far superior. And so is the hemp steel, because it's, 4 times lighter than steel, so much easier to transport around, much less wear and tear on your vehicles if you're in the business, and less gas. And in many cases, not even a need for a big 25, 50 ton truck. You may just could get it done in a 1 ton or a 2 ton. I don't know, just saying. Definitely wouldn't need no bulldozers and heavy equipment like that. You just from seed to harvest is 6 months. I mean, Calamate, it's so much. That's what I didn't get about Mexico. It was like, come on, man, this is the way where you can just make as much as you're making now and more than you are on the tourism business, but you can do it much more, and you can do it without as much effort. It's very simple, 0 effort, really. Plant the seed, water it, 6 months later, harvest it, and take your pick, 40,000 minimum major level industries. Okay, so that's my rant for today. I guess I'll call this, I don't know what I'll call this. I could say sharing intellectual property. That's what I could say, because I don't know, I suppose it did take me my whole life, ever since I started reading and looking for the answers and examining nature and just learning. Yeah, I reckon you could say intellectual property, but they would just, in the ancestors, we would just call it the wisdom of the elders, and the elders share this with the future generations, because it's important that we don't forget, how to live on planet Earth without destroying it. This is a very new concept. This is a very new concept, especially if you look at things from a 3D perspective, and the arrival of the Industrial Revolution and then the petrochemical industries, because that's, just less than 250, 300 years now, and there's a memory there that goes back way further than 250 or 300 years. It's a phylogenetic memory. It's a memory embedded in your gut, if you will. Speaking of mosquitoes, here comes did you see me just flew right across my face? Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. I won't turn this into a rant. I will just leave that at that, and say, that we don't need to reinvent the wheel, and do studies and proof of concept tests and pass all kinds of standards that have already been passed. Let's just say, hey, can we admit that this is scientifically published, peer-reviewed, proof of concept test, beyond functioning prototype, received the standard blah 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 code, whatever it is, industry code, that can we agree now to just and don't even get me started about all the studies that came out of China regarding mycelium. Holy moly. And hemp and other things, but especially the ones on mycelium are just amazing. So left, right, north, south, all hemispheres unite in holistic intelligence and with the memory, with remembering who you are, like that you're a spark of divinity and this is a collective consciousness stream. And isn't it about time now, if we look around and go, gee, I wonder, does the world need to get any more polluted and disgusting, and do we need to just get, I don't know, it's, at what point do we say, you know, it's suicidal? It like literally is suicidal to kill your Mother Earth and pollute the sacred water. It's just, I don't know how else to say it. It's, I don't know what else I need to do to motivate people into action. Y'all got skin in the game. I don't, right? But I do. I do have skin in the game, because blessed is she whose womb is barren, for her children are many, says the book of Ruth. And I see now that I have dreamed this all into existence. And so I'm just here to say, looky here, kids, it's time. Grandkids, it's time. Great-grandkids, it's time. Even the unborn children, it's time. They the ones that tell me, the unborn children and the little babies and the little children that lead the way. They're the one that telling me. They're the one I telling, that's giving me instructions. Nah. You know, I mean, all I have to do is look at it and go, is this what I want to leave? No. All right then. You know, let's clean it up. And don't get me started about enzymes, especially fermented enzymes. You do not even want to get me started. But I'm gonna save that for another video. I'm gonna call that, I don't know what I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna do that video. I'm gonna do that video while I'm walking down the street. All right. Hopefully the rain stops, so I can hold my camera and switch hands when I need to. All right. Ciao for now.